This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Monday, the 15th day of March in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. A group of nurses from Linden brought their protest to the city today as they continue to make their objections against the reinstatement of the Linden Hospital's chief executive officer known. The nurses picketed the Ministry of Health this morning, objecting to the ministry's reinstatement of CEO Rudy Small, one day after the same ministry removed him.
We shall not remove. We shall not remove. The Rudy is gone.
Small came under fire from the nurses a few weeks ago after telling an online media entity that nurses from his hospital would abandon their posts at night to go sleep with their sweet man. Although he later apologized twice over the statement, the Linden nurses have been holding out that he should be replaced, and they have been refusing to work under his direction. The nurses have the full backing of the Guyana Public Service Union. At a press conference today, GPSU officials said the situation at the hospital is untenable, and it maintains its position that the CEO must be removed.
The Guyana Public Service Union is therefore reiterating its call for the removal of the CEO from the environment, which would restore the dignity and confidence of the workers at the Linden Hospital complex and their colleagues throughout the country.
The union official also said the nurses at the Linden Hospital have no confidence in the CEO, and his apologies have been completely rejected.
Even more shocking, it is the fact that no government official has stood up to condemn his verbal abuse on female frontline workers. How can anyone believe that there exists a caring and responsible government that in the interest of their welfare, well-being, and uplifting their morality, how can anyone believe what is on the billboard, a government for all?
The GPSU has pointed out that even as the nurses have been protesting the CEO's presence at the hospital, they continue to carry out their jobs as healthcare providers and frontline workers.
They're scorning him. They have totally lost confidence in him. He's like an infectious disease. They consider him dangerous and toxic to their work environment. Otherwise, they have organized themselves to discharge all their duties in a responsible and a professional manner. This responsible approach is being taken to ensure that the hospital service to patients and the community are not disrupted.
The union noted today that it is also very concerned about the silence of the government on the issue and its reinstatement of the CEO after his attack on the frontline workers. According to the union, it is reiterating its call for the CEO to be removed and replaced and for confidence and dignity at the hospital to be restored. The union said it is negligible that good sense has not prevailed in the matter. More news coming up in just a moment.
Guyana, we've been through it all.
But as a people we have
weathered every storm
And risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
all the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
We are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
My name is Dr. Marlon Suknarang. I am the National Supervisor for the LFMBA campaign for Region 1 and 2. Today I've endorsed the pills. I took my pills and I'm encouraging everyone in Region 2 to do the same. Remember, Region 2, we're champions all the way and we must succeed in this mass drug administration to make Guyana proud. Thank you so much.
Farfan and Mendez Group of Companies are committed to promoting development through quality service and integrity. We offer our customers genuine products, reliability, and excellence in service. Our corporate head office at Providence affords you the added convenience of a spacious showroom with secured parking. At Farfan & Mendez, we continue to offer our customers a wide range of genuine and affordable German-engineered equipment. We also offer clean, green alternative energy solutions with our industry-leading brands of solar equipment. So, visit our new showroom at Providence and enjoy the service of our efficient and courteous staff. Farfan & Mendez, offering you solutions you can depend on.
Contributions online? Simply visit our website at www.nis.org.gy. Click on the Create New Account button and enter the required information. An automatic email notification will be sent to acknowledge your application. Once your information is authenticated, you will receive an email within 48 hours with instructions on how to access the site. Once logged in, you can click on the My Contributions tab on the left side of the screen to view your contributions. For further information, you can call our records department on 225-2798 or visit your nearest NIS office.
You taste the cheese, you hear the crunch. Grab a zoomers and zoom into fun. And with the first taste, you feel like you don't want it done. Blast off to a whole new place with every single bite. The cheesy goodness bring your taste buds alive. So let's just zoom into fun with this wheel-shaped light. Zoomers, zoomers, zoom into fun.
Go spread the word in your area. We gonna end filaria.
For the past 2 decades, the global community prioritized eliminating lymphatic filariasis, commonly known as filaria, as a public health problem. Many countries in the Americas have achieved this goal.
We're looking to have 100% eradication of this disease in Guyana.
So we look forward to all of our citizens working with our teams, but in the Ministry of Health, as they go around in our communities, meeting with you to administer this pills.
And I will encourage you all to take your pills so that we can once and for all rid Guyana of filariasis.
We have to get rid of the negatives in relation to filaria. So please let the science be your guide and take the tablets.
My family would be taking their pills. I do hope that you would also be taking your pills so that we can together work on eliminating filaria from Guyana.
Filaria gonna get knocked out. TKO.
A message from the Ministry of Health in collaboration with PAHO.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL?
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
Welcome back. Sugar workers attached to the Albion and Bremont estates launched protest action today, threatening to down tools if their demands for salary and wage increases are not met. In a statement today, the Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union noted that the sugar company Gaisuco has been slothful in addressing the issue of salary increases. According to the union body, it had resumed talks with Gaisuco with hopes of addressing the issue. But so far, Gaisuco has not made any movement to bring the matter to an end. The union said at those meetings, GAWU reiterated that the discussions surrounding pay rise to 2019 remain unresolved, and therefore discussions ought to have begun from that point. During the engagements, the union said Gaisuco acknowledged GAWU's position. The corporation saw the union and other workers to exercise patience to allow it to engage in consultations with a view to finding a solution. The union said it had reached an agreement with the workers to give the new management at Gaisuco an opportunity towards finding a solution to the impasse, but the Sugar Corporation did not budge from its position. The workers are also calling on Gaisuco to award them for their production achievements on the week ending March 13. Albion Estate realized approximately 92% of its weekly target, and the workers are demanding a half-day's pay as weekly production incentive. The Albion workers pointed out that in the week prior, when Iflot Estate also achieved 92% of its weekly target, the corporation approved a similar payment. Subsequently, the Iflot workers received a full day's pay after Gaisuco approved a reduction in the weekly production targets, similar to what was previously approved for Albion and Blairmont. GAWU said it hopes good sense prevails and that Gaisuco can resolve the issue in the shortest possible time. Residents of Bartica and other Region 7 communities will now have easier access to the services of the Guyana National Bureau of Standards with the opening of its sub-office in Bartica. Some of the services which will be offered to the region include inspection services and testing of concrete hollow blocks, along with the verification of scales and masses. Delivering brief remarks, Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce Anish Waldron said the establishment of the new office in Bartica will make business in the region much more efficient.
Put that into contextual perspective and examine the cost and time-saving elements. A trip to Georgetown amounts to no less than $7,000. That does not include food, accommodation, and other costs. In some cases, you may have to make several trips. This might have meant closing business or redirecting your productive time during your sojourn to the capital. And I am happy to usher in this new era where you can stay right here in Bartica, save your money, save your time, and still access these critical services.
The GNBS is the leading agency responsible for standards, quality, and measurements across Guyana. And the minister pointed out that the opening of the GNBS's sub-office in Bartica is a practical demonstration that the government is serious about business development.
Opening of this office is a practical demonstration that this administration is serious about business development in Guyana. It is intended to convey that residents in rural Guyana or the outlying areas should in no way feel disadvantaged or disconnected from opportunities available to the rest of the country.
The acting executive director of the National Bureau of Standards, Ms. Ramrati Karan, noted that the COVID-19 pandemic and resulting restrictions on traveling have reinforced the importance of decentralizing the services of the Bureau. With this new office, the GNBS now has a total of 6 sub-offices across the country. The others are in Anna Regina, Vreden Hoop, New Amsterdam, and Skelden, along with Letem in Region 9. While the Guyana Defense Force brought out the Guard of Honor, the President, Prime Minister, Government Ministers, National Security Advisor, and the U.S. Ambassador over the weekend to welcome the arrival of the recently purchased helicopter for the GDF. The Bell 412 helicopter was procured from the U.S. military. At the welcoming ceremony for the chopper, President Irfan hailed the purchase as part of his government's plan to acquire additional assets for the Guyana Defense Force. He announced that an assessment of the Coast Guard will soon begin for additional purchases for that section of the Defense Force.
So this is the beginning of a new trend. Long before we get to the end of this year, we will see new assets acquired for our Coast Guard. And this is the beginning, as I said. We have to analyze the new requirement of our security sector based on our development path. Indeed, we have a lot more economic assets to protect.
According to the president, with the country's economy moving in an upward direction and with more investments and expansion, there is the need for the modernization of the security forces to meet the challenges that will be attached to more economic activity in the country.
We will have a large economy. We'll have more sophisticated type of criminal activities to deal with. And all of this requires a modern, forward-looking security architecture. And that is what we're building.
President Ali said the government has already started a relationship with the Bell company which manufactures the helicopters and will be looking to strengthen that partnership as the country moves to boost the capacity of the security forces. According to the GDF, the Bell 412 helicopter is a medium lift one that is well suited to traverse Guyana's terrain. It is also equipped to aid in search and rescue operations as well as military tactical maneuvers. The joint services are moving to strengthen security in the Barometer Village in Region 1. In a statement, the joint services announced the move to establish a base in Barometer to tackle many of the problems facing the indigenous community. There have been reports of criminal gangs in the area, and efforts will be made to rid the community of those gangs and ensure the protection of the village. According to a statement from the police, there will be an end to the sale of alcohol to underage children and the sexual exploitation of underage children. The move is all part of a plan to not only tackle crimes in the community, but to also build a stronger relationship with community leaders and members. An 89-year-old woman from Region 3 became the country's latest COVID-19 related death today, as announced by the Ministry of Health. The total number of deaths in Guyana has now climbed to 208, with 10 of those deaths being recorded in the past 13 days. According to the Ministry of Health, there are now 8 persons in the COVID-19 unit, and there are more than 600 positive cases of COVID-19 in the country. The Health Ministry's national vaccination program is continuing all across the country. Over the weekend, hundreds of seniors turned up at vaccination sites to get their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine.
So we thought that it's important that we immunize our older population, because once they get the vaccine, even if they get infected with COVID-19, they will get a milder form of the disease. And so we thought this was important, and that is why we have prioritized this older age group.
The Health Ministry is encouraging persons above the age of 60 to go to their health clinics to ensure they get a shot of the COVID-19 vaccine. The Guyana Police Force intends to continue its crackdown on the Nightspot and bars that are found breaching the COVID-19 guidelines. In the past 2 weeks, the police force has been moving around the city to shut down those businesses that are found open beyond the opening hours as stated in the COVID-19 guidelines. Senior police officers have indicated that the operations will continue all across the country. This past weekend, the owner of the Sleep-In Hotel and 2 of his bartenders and some casino supporters were all arrested for breaching the guidelines after they were found to be operating after the 9:30 p.m. closing time. The owner of Club Altitude and some of its patrons, along with the owner of Cairo's Bar and the bartender at Club Privilege, were also arrested during the late Friday night, early Saturday morning operation. The Sleep-In Hotel owner was arrested again on Saturday night for another breach of the guidelines. He has indicated that he intends to fight the case. All of those arrested were placed on bail. Charges are likely to be filed against them this week.
Guyana, we've been through it all.
But as a people we have
Weathered every storm.
And risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
all the people, regardless of race, class, or religion.
We are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Go spread the word in your area. We gonna end Filaria.
For the past 2 decades, the global community prioritized eliminating lymphatic filariasis, commonly known as filaria, as a public health problem. Many countries in the Americas have achieved this goal.
We're looking to have 100% eradication of this disease in Guyana.
So we look forward to all of our citizens working with our teams, what's in the Ministry of Health, as they go around in our communities, meeting with you to administer this pills.
And I will encourage you all to take your pills so that we can once and for all rid Guyana of filariasis.
We have to get rid of the negatives in relation to filaria. So please let the science be your guide and take the tablets.
My family would be taking their pills. I do hope that you would also be taking your pills so that we can together work on eliminating filaria from Guyana.
Filaria gonna get knocked out, TKO.
A message from the Ministry of Health in collaboration with PAHO.
I'm Dr. Narain Singh, the Chief Medical Officer from the Ministry of Health. I'm here this morning at the launching of the mass drug distribution for the elimination of filariasis. I took my pill this morning and I will encourage you all to take your pills so that we can once and for all rid Guyana of filariasis.
Due to the impacts of the global pandemic, COVID-19 across our nation, essential organizations like us have chosen to adopt innovative approaches to meet the emerging needs of our customers while protecting our employees. Here are some quick tips to make managing your GPL bill easier while we practice social distancing. To register for electronic billing, you can use the e-billing tab on your website. To access your bill balance, you can use 4 options: the website live chat at gpl.net, the online inquiry on our website under billing, SMS freedom by texting your GPL reference number to 624-0400 or 608-8400, or call our call center at 226-2600. A message from the Guyana Power and Light Incorporated.
Across the region right now, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro is pressing banks to implement digital payment systems as hyperinflation prompts chronic shortages of cash in the Bolivar currency. Maduro has targeted the public transit system where roughly 3/4 of all circulating cash is spent, as the first stage of a plan he calls a digital Bolivar. In January, the president asked banks to deliver point-of-sale terminals to the Caracas subway system. With annual inflation hitting 2,665%, long lines from many mornings outside banks in Caracas as residents seek to withdraw a maximum of 400,000 bolivars, the equivalent of 20 US cents, just to pay round-trip transit fare to get to work. Venezuelans have stopped using cash bolivars for food and many other day-to-day purchases. It would take 40 bills of 50,000 bolivars to buy just 1 kilo of rice. In Jamaica, the opposition is calling for an audit to be initiated into breaches of the government's COVID-19 vaccination program. Opposition leader Mark Golding says the exercise should be led by the Auditor General's Department to ascertain if satisfactory procedures have been established by the government and to examine the records as to those who have received the vaccine in order to indicate the nature and extent of the procedural breaches. The government's vaccination rollout was hit by claims of inequality and line skipping in the administration of the AstraZeneca vaccine at the National Chest Hospital and at the St. Joseph's Hospital in St. Andrew. The Health Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, admitted over the weekend that there were some glitches. The opposition is charging that well-thinking Jamaicans are offended by the reported breaches of the vaccination protocols. The breaches, the opposition argues, violate the principles of efficiency, equity, and transparency, on which the government had promised that a vaccination program would be based. And finally tonight, international news. The World Health Organization has urged countries not to pause COVID vaccinations, as several major EU countries halted their rollouts of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. It said there was no evidence of a link between the vaccine and blood clots. Germany, France, Italy, and Spain joined smaller nations in halting vaccinations as a precaution while checks were being made. The WHO's vaccine safety experts are meeting tomorrow to discuss the issue. The European Medicines Agency will meet on the same day and is due to draw conclusions on Thursday. It has also said the vaccine should continue to be used. There have been a number of cases in Europe of blood clots developing after the vaccine was administered. However, experts say these were no more than a number of blood clot incidents typically reported within the general population. About 17 million people in the EU and the UK have received a dose of the vaccine, with fewer than 40 cases of blood clots reported as of last week. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, encouraging you to stay safe.